Okay.
You know, you came back to Austin at
Yeah.
at I don't want to say fairly quickly, but at some point you came home
Yeah.
and you
It was 92.
okay, and you wrote a couple of you had a couple of different bands that played around here. You had some you were playing with your brothers, you were playing with Steve Bernal, you were playing with
JJ Johnson.
JJ Johnson, you had you had easily, I'll say, without issue, like just hey, you want to come sing and you want to come play, you want to you know, you just had friends that would show up and help you put together some music, whether it be Six is Nine, which is a project that you had, or the Billy White Trio. And I feel like you really, when I listen to those records, I feel like it is a coming home. There, you were singing. A lot of people didn't know that you could do that, Billy. You were fronting your own world after this sort of like crazy thing from like, I'll just say from you're a young lad playing guitar from like 80, 81, just zippity doo-dah all the way to like 92, like just over a decade. And you're finally home doing your own deal. And, you know, there's no suppressing anything anymore. Now you have this sort of like, hoverboard for you to like let people sort of see who you are lyrically and musically. And I love those records and what you did with family members, with people that you respect, people, longtime people. Young, JJ was young. I remember JJ from San Antonio coming to see Watchtower play in like 85, and he's like 16.
JJ went to the same high school as I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just AJ a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Really good to catch up with him.
Nice.
He really had a way of playing together. Like I think I haven't really had with anyone. He and I really had a connection, a telepathy, and how
that's not a surprise to me at all.
Yeah, when we first started playing, it was just like, oh, this is the drummer I've always been looking for. You know, you just knew right away. We knew where we were going. Like on the stop of a dime, you know, we could shift into something else.
Is he still with John? Is he still playing with John Mayer?
Oh no, he's that was a long time ago. He was playing with Tedeschi Trucks.
Oh, right.
Gary Clark Jr.
Yeah, that's right. But going back to Jason's question, the Billy White Trio, or you know, anything when you come back to Austin, you now have a new level of creative freedom that's yours to explore. What did you what kind of adjustment was that for you after, you know, with Geffen and Don Dokken, there's probably boundaries. But now you can do whatever you want, right? And so where was your head? What were you trying to say musically at that time?
At that time, I mean, I was listening to so many different things, and I was interested in vocal harmonies. I remember wanting to do something where we could do vocal harmonies, and I formed this band Six is Nine with Mike Moyer, a really great singer, and we did kind of he was the lead singer, but we would do a lot of dual harmonies vocally, and that was really satisfying. And musically, anything was possible. And we had Steve Bernal playing bass, a really wonderful drummer, Raphael Gale, who has played with a lot of people. He was in Leonard Cohen's band for the last several years.
Wow.
And so that band Six is Nine was really something. And we almost signed a major deal. So, you know, we were doing the South by Southwest conferences and released a couple of demos. But then I wanted to be the lead singer at that point and really just step out there and really give it a go. I felt like I had to, and that was a big leap to be the front man and the lead singer. And at that time, I was influenced by a lot of things like Jeff Buckley, Chris Whitley. I was listening to some very interesting singer guitarists who were stretching the boundaries, and they were a big influence. And I wasn't, as interested in being a guitarist just for guitar's sake. Really wanted to be about songwriting, finding new ways of playing the guitar, but chordally. So some of the Billy White Trio stuff has some very interesting chordal structure and even altered tunings and things. I was listening to Soundgarden and a lot of bands like that. And so Billy White Trio was really, as far as rock and heavy music, that was the most complete expression that I found, I really, because there was no limit to what we could do.
Right.
With JJ, Steve on bass, later on Brian Walsh, who was in Soul Hat. That band was just an amazing group of musicians. I felt like we could stretch out and go anywhere, in a different way than Watchtower did.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had already been to the other end. You'd already been to the other end of the spectrum. You'd already stood on top of the sun and handled it, and now you were ready to just go to the other side and see what it was like because you could.
Well, I think that one difference is that the Billy White Trio, is heavily groove oriented, whereas Watchtower really wasn't much about what you would call groove, really.
Yeah, wasn't four on the floor.
No. And that's a different expression of groove or rhythm.